Then hello ReBBL and hello every other person watching, all the coaches. Hello, hello. I'm on for my Gman Game 2, and the real Welsh Dragons, my Bretonian team, are up against Mad something, Furry Road. I'll have a look at them in a second. So just having a look at my team very quickly. My MVP is currently out, my only piece that has a level up. However, I also have a lineman out, but I do have just the one loner because the rest of the team is set up. Let's put Delmark back here for a moment. In fact, let's switch out the team completely just so I can see it easier. There we go. So yes, with two pieces out, it means that I am down to 9. No, I will have 2 learners. Okay, I will have 2 learners. Understood. So we're looking at team value of... what is that? That's 60, so 940 going into this match. And we're up against Mad Rats Furry Road, of course. Sorry. Mad Rats Furry Mode, of course. So, this team is currently on a very strong winning streak, but they only have the 11 players, so I have a chance to knock a couple out if I pay for a bribe, which I almost certainly will do. They can spend a bit of money before the game if they want to, just to give them that one extra bit. I hope they haven't seen the part that lead up to me saying, the video that I posted before this saying I was going to foul him out, because if he did, then it makes sense for him to buy a piece even if he's going to fire him after the game. We'll see what happens there though. We're going to go live in a few minutes. Of course, you're watching this on YouTube now because I'm recording this for YouTube right now, and you're not going to see the game live, you're just going to see the replay. But we are actually going to go live, and I'm going to go through the teams again when I'm on the live stream. So good luck to my opponent, and good luck to everybody who is also in the Gman. Anybody who's watching in general, good luck in your games. I'll see you pitch side. Let's see how this goes. Hello, ReBBL. Oh, I haven't done the logo. Let's do that. Oops. Hello, ReBBL and Blood Bowl fans. I'm here for my second match of Gman, and I'm doing 2 things at once, so I may just confuse myself, though I hope no. And I didn't play this game well, to be honest. I played the first half fine, but the second half was kind of a disaster for me. And I only blame myself. Well, I blame the dice a little bit too, but I mostly blame myself. I made some strange decisions. Anyway, I was playing Fatyn and his rats, and he was fantastic. We had a blast. We had a lot of fun, actually. Very nice guy. Also British, so if you do want to hear 2 British chatting, then do check out the game live on my Mixer channel. Link is below, I believe. So we're playing the Mad Rats, Furry Road, and they are singing Dungeon Bowl. Or whatever it's called. I think it's called Dungeon Bowl, I don't remember, I haven't seen the film in many years. But anyway, Dungeon Bowl. And my Bretonians are singing, "Why the hell are we here, can we go home?" When I first entered this league, I didn't have many hopes of succeeding at all, though I am giving it my all. I should have played at a different time than I did yesterday. I was tired after a long day of travelling. That's not really an excuse, I did play badly, but... well, I'm going to use it as an excuse. That's my excuse for playing badly. It's not a good idea to play when you're not really in the mood to play, just so you guys know. And we're looking at the back of the rats for some reason. Okay then. So, Mad Rats actually won the toss, but they chose to kick, which was interesting, because my plan was basically to murder the rats, so if he did go down numbers, that could have gone badly for him, to be honest, but well, we'll see what happens there. Though I'm quite happy to receive the ball. I would have chose to receive myself as well, so I'm interested by that. I'm actually playing with 2 learners, and I also have a bribe. I could have taken a wizard, but I chose the bribe instead because I thought it would help me more with doing damage to these rats, because basically if I want to win this game, I've got to get the numbers down. I don't have a choice. Though looking back on it, could have taken the wizard, probably would have been the better choice. I did debate it for a long time when I was preparing for the match, but no, I went for the bribe in the end. Anyway, here we go then. Kick off from the gutter runner. And a quick snap. Good start. Yeah, there are a couple of really scary gutter runners for me here. There's 2 block pieces, there's a sidestep piece, and there's a wrestle piece somewhere. There's the wrestle piece. And then a rookie, and my mouse is doing something weird. There we go, and a rookie rat. So the gutter runners are a little bit scary, and there's a storm vermin. Pock Pock. This is definitely the man of the match. He was going to be regardless. I was terrified of this guy. I wanted him gone because he has Mighty Blow, and Mighty Blow is bad news for my pretty squishy peasants, and my pretty squishy knights and yeomen for that matter. My first round of blocks, though, were fantastic, as you're about to see, so we get a stun immediately. And then we get a 2 down. That wasn't so fantastic. Sorry. I forgot about that one. So we have a turnover immediately, actually. That wasn't so great, but we've had 2 stuns, so I will take that. I will take that in spades. That's an expression that probably doesn't exist. I'm still tired. I'm going to be tired every game I play at the moment, I think, because I'm on holiday. Alright then. So, I think actually Fatyn made the mistake in the first round because he overcommitted to the one side when he didn't really need to. But he was pretty focused on trying to surf a piece, which is fine. It makes sense to try and knock out some players, but at the same time, I don't know, it's difficult. Though he has actually secured the ball, so I take that back. He did make it difficult to get the ball right from the beginning. But like I say, he has taken up mostly the one side, and he's left a gap here. He does run all of his gutter runners through. That's a fair choice. It makes it difficult for me to pick up the ball. However, it also leaves his gutter runners a little bit exposed, so I'm kind of 50-50 on that decision. We'll see how it works out for him. And I'm going to be fouling every turn until I lose the bribe, because I want to get some rats out of the game. So let's do some positioning work, because this is a tricky recovery now. Though I actually think I did the cleanup pretty well. Though you guys can give me comments whether you think so or not. In fact, I would like some advice on this game, because I haven't been playing Bretonnians well so far this season. I'm not a very good Bretonnian coach, I can say that as well. I mean, Bretonnians are considered the worst team in the league, but they're not so bad. Oh, and there's probably a debate about punching from this angle. I chose this angle specifically because I wanted this gutter runner stuck between these 2 pieces, and to lock up this one at the same time. And we have to re-roll that, because we want to do some damage this turn. And we're going to foul the gutter runner with peasant here. There's the first foul win. And it's a good one. It's an injury. And Apo is gone already. It's good news. And rat turn. Reroll is gone. That's good news for me. Though, like I say, he's still focusing very much on this side. He could have taken the ball instead of focusing on surfing my players, but he focused on surfing the players instead. And would have been better off switching priorities. Would have given him a chance to go ahead actually here. Though he made surfing the piece his priority, and he actually moved everything out of tackle zones, so it made it a bit easier. Though he was unlucky with these 3 missed pickups from the rats. It would have made it easier for him if he actually left some pieces marked, because I can just move the team around him now, lock him up completely, and probably do some damage at the same time. So I think at this point Fatyn's making the game a little bit easy for me. And I don't need to put the gutter run down, I just need to get him out of the way, so I can run away from him. And we're going to clean up this side, because this side is my only course of action at the moment. It's the only place to go, so it's where I'm going to go. And ball. And handoff. And run away. And I moved the piece into position to lock off this last line rat. And I don't move away, actually. Yeah, that was a good call. I decided against it because all these pieces can get up here after putting this peasant down. So I decided to keep it here for one turn. Next turn, we'll move away. I left a blocker to be served, but, well, didn't really have much I could do with him. I could have taken the 1 die, I guess, but it was too risky, considering where the ball is. I kind of need him focused on this corner, and he has stayed focused on this corner, actually. I'm giving myself a chance to score by letting this piece be served. That's basically the thought process there. Here's a KO, which isn't terrible, but of course could have been better. Would have been better if there was no injury. And the gutter runners are going to come back to help. And there's the blitzer ready to be served as well. I got a comment after the game that I shouldn't have stood this piece up. I don't exactly agree, but I maybe should have dodged out instead of just standing him up, which I will do next turn, yes. The point is, again, though, just keeping the focus on this side of the pitch so I can secure the score without a doubt, basically. I can move my whole team up this way, and he's going to keep focusing on this piece that's here. It's a risky strategy, but it's a strategy that can pay off, and it's likely to lead to a score. And we're both doing pretty well with armor breaks. This wasn't a very friendly game. The rats against the Etonians. There were lots of armor breaks. And we're doing a pretty good job of cleaning up the pitch, making sure that I have complete space to run through with the ball, which I'm going to have to do now. Can't keep him in the same position. And we're going to bring the peasant in to foul. That's GFI to do so. And fouling is working wonders. So yeah, I could have not stood up the knight. That could have been an option, like I said, but as you can see, he has brought pretty much his whole team over here now, meaning this space is all mine. His villain is KO'd, which isn't good news, but Fatyn is well out of position to stop me, at least. So I'm going to be moving this turn for definite. I have to move this turn for definite. Probably should have moved last turn when I looked at it, though. I didn't really have the pieces to move, though, that's the problem. Now I've got the numbers here, whereas before I didn't. So even if he brings everything he can over this way, he's still out of position to slow me down. And 2 down is bad news for him. I don't use wrestle, and it leads to a KO'd rat, which is good news for me. Right then. First of all, securing this side so these 3 pieces can't get over, basically making it as hard as possible for them. And we can bring out these 2 peasants right round to lock up these, well, this one at least. Maybe both of them. I think just this one though. We're actually going to blitz him as well. It's not the storm vermin I want to be hurting, but it's a start. And I need to move the ball first, but after I've moved the ball I can focus on fouling this piece. Trying to get one of these storm vermin out, because if a rat coach loses storm vermin, usually they have a bad day. So let's try and do that now. Nope, there goes the bribe. That's the end of the fouling, because I can't really afford to go down numbers. Not for free anyway. If I had a bench, I would of course continue fouling, but with 11 on 11 and fouling not really working, I can't afford to risk losing a piece to a foul, so it's probably going to end for now. And that's the first injury. I'm going to have to appo that. I don't want to go down pieces, so it doesn't matter what the injury is, that's appoed. And it's switched view for some reason. And like I say, the rats aren't really in position to slow me down because they spent so long trying to get rid of these two pieces. So I understand the argument that I shouldn't have let the knight get surfed, but at the same time, it's actually led to a much easier chance to score. Though he does manage to sort out a 1-die, and reroll doesn't help him, pushing to push. Which means I can punch him back. Sidestep is bad news though. I could have done this better. I did not clean this up well. I should have looked more closely at the pieces, what they were, and chosen a different order, I guess. But we knocked down that one, and the free die need to reroll, but it's a loner. So unfortunately, we're not getting the ball carrier out easily. We're going to have to dodge. And I don't know why this is lagging. I'm sorry. Maybe something's up. Maybe someone's trying to do something in the background. And dodge fails. Reroll is gone. So it's bad news for me. On the plus side though, I still have position on the ball, and Fatyn doesn't really. And uses last reroll, which doesn't help. Helps me a lot, but doesn't help him at all. That was an unlucky reroll actually, so Fatyn was really unlucky there. Not a big fan when a roll like that causes a turnover. I much prefer to have a game that's relatively fair wherever possible, so that was unfortunate. It does mean that I can secure the ball quite easily at least. Without a reroll is still risky though, of course. So Blitz is going to do his best to get out of the way with the ball. And get out of the way he does. I risk the 1 GFI, but I can't really risk the ball going down with a gutter runner that can get there. And I didn't need to risk this block. I thought about it for a little while. I eventually took it, but I should have done that. Not at all. I should have left that piece standing. So that was a mistake. That was my first big mistake this game. And Belmark is dead. It's a good thing because I wanted to fire him anyway, because I bought him in a hurry, and I'm kind of glad he's gone. So there we go. The only problem is now I'm down to 10 players against 11, which is awful news when you're playing against rats with a relatively, well, let's say unreliable team. But at least I'm in a position where I can potentially score. And he's going to move into a position where he can potentially score as well, which was very good play from Fatyn. He put pressure on me here. Though I think he... well, he has to take this risk actually, never mind. No, he played this very well this turn. And push was very lucky for me. It meant that I could keep standing. I don't have to pick up the ball, I just have to manage the dodge, because I'm not going to block out. I'm going to try and put this piece down first though, because it's a free 2-die basically. And because it's going to stop him from potentially scoring, so even if I do fail the dodge, we're going 0-0 into halftime. Push isn't good enough, but I can't do much about that now. I'm going to have to go to the dodge. Dodge is good. And I think Skaven scores. Yeah, Skaven scores. It's 1-0 to the Bretonians, which is fantastic at the end of turn 1. I'm very, very happy with that result. Going into turn 2, I feel a bit more comfortable, and maybe if I wasn't feeling so comfortable, I would have played better. But there we go. The second turn is where it got really bad. So, one rat knocked out stays knocked out. One dead piece stays dead, of course. And 2 of the 3 knockouts come back, so we are 10 against 9. My 9 is 10. And rat drive. My first and probably biggest mistake here was that I loaded the line when I shouldn't have done, really. But we're going to see that in a second. he loaded the line as well, which was a good choice by him, because it forced me to make a mistake by also loading the line. Actually, I didn't load the line. No, I actually defended deep, which was good. I'm talking about next turn, that's why. Sorry, we're on turn 8. I'm a turn ahead of myself here. Right, no, turn 8 was fine. I left him just 3 pieces to punch, though I should have left him a peasant instead of a blocker. I don't know why I didn't do that, but there we go. Okay. So, blocking is going well here. But that's the end of the fun for turn 1. So going to turn 1, the rat comes back to 11 players. And the peasant comes back to 10 players, 11 v 10. Now we're going to make the mistake. Okay. So I do decide to load the line here, which was a strange decision, but I did also keep pieces way back in reserve, which was a better decision. Okay, so kicking to the rats now. Rat drive. Perfect defense. Fantastic. I should use this to bring the pieces back, get pieces off the line, and basically sort everything out. However, I don't do that. I just switch 2 peasants, and then leave nothing else. With the ball landing here, I really should have brought this line up, and I should have brought a few pieces back. But for some reason, I didn't. That was just really bad decision making from me. So, I'm giving up this first touchdown really softly here. Bad play. And we have another injury, which is bad news. I'm down to 9 players now. This is going to get hard. And that's another one dead. Just a loner, thankfully. But still, with 3 peasants gone, I'm down to 9 against 11, which is a very difficult matchup. Chance of me stopping the score is very slim. What I should have done here, to be honest, was wait instead of coming forward. I don't know why I pushed forward like I did. It wasn't a good idea. I would have been better off leaving everything that I had back as it was, taking the 1 block maybe, but keeping 2 pieces back. What I did instead was just stupid, to be honest. I moved everything into a position, a position where he could secure the ball and move forward at his own leisure. Whereas if I left the pieces back, he has to think a bit more. So this was poor play all round, really, so far, on my behalf. He does move the ball back, forcing me to chase him, which was very good actually, because I took the bait, and I wouldn't normally. I don't know why I did, but there we go. I do take the bait. Normally when I'm playing this kind of game, I usually screen off in this situation, so I don't know why I didn't do that. It's there we go. I played the way it played, and it does mean that I'm giving him many, many blocks with the ball already secured, which is never a good idea, so don't do this. And I'm going to pay for it with another injury. One of my blockers is out now, and he's on this next game. He's not coming back next time. And the blitzer down as well. Well, that's game over, basically. That's a minus armor value as well. Probably going to fire that piece eventually, but I'm not going to fire him yet because I can't afford to replace him. And I'm 5 players permanently out. That's game over for Bretonians, basically. It's going to be very, very difficult for me to stop him from winning this game. You could argue that the armor breaks have been rough. They have, but at the same time I shouldn't be giving up so many blocks. So I only have myself to blame for the amount of armor breaks that I've suffered this turn. We're going to try and salvage what we can with a, to be honest, awful play. When I failed that push, I should have taken that as a hint not to go forward, but I didn't. And we have the KO as well. Well, this gets more and more fun for the Bretonian team. Yeah, no doubt about going 1-0 here, and so early giving him 5 turns potentially, or 4 turns if he wants to stall, to get 2 touchdowns. Pretty soft win for the Rats, really. Could have made it a lot harder for him than I did up until this point. Should have made it a lot harder than I did. Quite embarrassed to be showing you this game, really, but there we go. We all have bad days in the office. Today was mine. I'm going to do what I can to slow down the score, but I don't really have any hope of stopping it. All I can do is hope he rolls something and makes a mistake. But with 3 rerolls on the Rat team, that's probably not happening. He's going to take some dice. That's a fair call. He's going to have 4 turns after this to score as well, so he can take a little bit of risk. Not a big deal, especially with 3 rerolls. He'd be silly not to, really. And we're going to try for a pass or a handoff to get the first score, just to spread out the SPP. That's also a very good play from Fatyn. With the rerolls and everything, that's fine. And first score, in return, goes to Del Monte, the gutter runner. I cost myself the game by giving that 1-1 so softly, and it's almost guaranteed it's going 2-1. I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say that I am eventually going to lose this game. But yeah, up until now I've been playing very badly, and with the dice going the way they did, it's cost me the game completely. So I'm going to do my best to return score, of course, but with 6 pieces, I don't have much choice. I don't have much chance to do so. Mad Fats, Fury Road get a blitz, which is really bad news for me. That's made it impossible to have any chance of returning fire, basically. And he fails to dodge, but it's the last dodge, so that's not really going to affect the outcome of that. He's managed to position himself well enough to put all the pressure on me to pick up the ball. I'm going to defend it as best I can, but there isn't really a good defense here, so all I can do is pick it up and hope something goes my favour next turn. Pickup is good at least. It's not moving anywhere this turn though, and we're going to use a lineman as a hero. He's going to run up into the end zone, just in case, because you never know. And I'm going to have to take a block with the blocker, because, well, I need to take the risk. Don't have a choice. We're 6 players against 11, have to take risks. And I dodge out the peasant. Best I could have done. That's all I can do until the turn. And he's forced to reroll, but it isn't going to hurt him at this point. And at least he's got a push, so the blitzer is still standing. I do have a chance to get the ball out, though it's a slim one at best. And with that positioning play, which is perfect by the way, you've perfectly locked me up, all I can really do is hand off and dodge out. That's my only option. Though that is the play I'm going to make for sure. And we have a blocker stunned again, which is pretty bad news. Though at this point it doesn't make much of a difference. Crazy play is all I have left, regardless. And the handoff fails, have to reroll, which means I can't reroll the dodge. And here we go, dodge, fails. That's basically game over for Bretonians. It already was game over, but that is secured game over for Bretonians. Unless Nuffle really decides to give Fatyn a bad day in the office, which I really don't think he will. And no, that's good enough. That's going to make it impossible for me to pick up the ball already. So, moving pieces into position to get the easy touchdown here. And getting the ball as far away from me as possible. If he can manage the pickup, the ball's out of reach. I can't even get to it. We're going to take some blocks first. Fair enough with the rerolls, why not? And ball is well out of reach. Pass is successful. Lock up the last of the pieces. All I can hope to do now is do a little bit of damage, just as a bit of payback, I guess, but even that's going to be pretty hard. I will try and dodge out to put some pressure, and dodge is successful, so I've got a little bit of pressure. I can hope to force him to score early, so I can at least have a chance of fighting back. And I will take a blitz on the line rat, which I didn't follow for some reason, but okay. And I'm pretty glad that he's rolling dice here, because it means that it puts a little bit of risk into his play that he doesn't really need to take. Gives me a small out, a very small out though, and he moves the gutter runner further out of reach. The other gutter runner comes back in support against the blitzer, so he can't get out. And we're even going to hit the blitzer, which is a fair call. But 2 down isn't so great. Push against a peasant. All I can really do is dodge out and hit the gutter runner, so that's going to be the option here. That's my only option, so I'm going to take it. Though if that fails, which it's likely to, then that's done. And there we go, dodge fails. We take an injury as well, just for good measure, at the very end. No long-term effects at least, just a badly hurt. And he really should be taking the score here, as opposed to rolling dice, but he does have 2 rerolls, so why not? Just it's more risk than you need to take, really. And there we go. Finally, he runs it in for securing the win. Well done, Fatyn. Very well played. Sorry I've been a bit distracted this game. I had a pretty horrible letter and I've been trying not to scream. But I'm going to be making a pretty awkward phone call after this, so I've been a bit distracted during this replay, so I hope it hasn't been too uninteresting. And don't really have any hope of return scoring, even with a riot, so it doesn't really make a difference what the return kick is going to be. But we'll see how we can finish off with this last turn. Maybe we can do some damage on the last turn just for a little bit of, well, pride more than anything for the team. Good old Welsh pride, eh? And a high kick, so at least we can have a vanity pass potentially. So we're going to take some blocks first. Alright then, here comes the blocking. A good first one. A good second one. And the 2 down to end the game on a high. And also an armor break. Oh, it's been pretty uncanny this match, hasn't it? That's fantastic. No, well played, Fatyn. That was a fun game. I had fun talking to you, and I agree with your assessment of the game. I did play very badly in the second half, though the first half was fine. So 2 touchdowns, 2 passes, 14 armor breaks for the Rats, with a lineman getting the man of the match. 1 touchdown, 13 armor breaks, 2 deaths for the Battalions, with a blocker getting man of the match. Stephen picked up Furry, who is the minus armor value blitzer now. And look at all of this SPP. We've got 12, 14, 16, 18, 25 SPP. Isn't that fantastic? Well played, Fatyn. Great result for your Rats. I look forward to facing you again if possible, though most of all, very well done and good luck going forward. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the pitch soon. Bye bye.